Hey, this is Matt once again. What about 10 of the videos? Another paid request. It's time for Lucas. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, really anything, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And Lucas asked a simple question: how do you fix Disney? I'm like, well, you bankrupt it, you burn it, you throw it in the ditch, and he did. But I think he said you can't say tear it down or bankrupt it. I'm like, well, damn. Then we lose. Okay, how to fix Disney? That'd be a tall order. Number one, I would say fire everybody that's there. Fire Kathleen Kennedy. Fire Kevin Feige. Fire these writers who care more about woke messages than about storytelling. And you hire storytellers. You hire people that actually want to tell stories. I would say Marvel and Star Wars. I would honestly say we look at the bottom line of what we have money wise, and we need to either A, we sell Marvel, or B, we sell Star Wars. But we don't have both. Because that's a lot of money to put in, and it's a lot of money to have conjecture with, where you're stacking all this product that's just going to pollute the brand. Because Star Wars, you pumping out more and more and more content, it's going to dilute it. People don't get tired of it, especially when it's a lot of bad product. And when I looked at the two, I'm like, honestly, as much as I get tired of Marvel, I think you can still get more out of Marvel than Star Wars. So I would say sell Star Wars to someone else. And if you want to keep Marvel, but Marvel, we're going to calm down. We're going to backtrack. I don't know, reevaluate what we can and can't do, what we should and shouldn't do in terms of Marvel. And we need to humble ourselves, and we need to slow down. We need to stop these bullshit woke messages in our animated films and our live action films. Don't give a fuck about representation. Don't give a fuck about doing the check marks. Don't give a fuck about what message we can put in there. It's like, if the message is about family and friendship and heroic aptitude, that's the message we go more forwards. Take a page from stuff in the 80s, even the 90s, when you're becoming more successful. Marvel, I would say, take a 5-year break at the very least. You may be pissed off about that, you may be angry about that, but you need to get people to miss you. Because how can you miss if you don't go away? If you're always here, I never miss you. But if you're gone for 5 years and come out with a banner, and you have to work hard on a banner, then it's like, oh, wow, okay. Yeah, there has been one for 5 years. Man, it feels refreshing. I didn't realize how much I missed this. So I would say for Disney, sell Star Wars. Because right now, I'll also say, fuck Disney Plus right now. I know streaming is a thing for a lot of these companies. I get that. But would I get rid of Disney Plus? I guess you do need a platform for things to stream. On the flip side, you know what? Fuck it. I would say work out a deal with Netflix. Say, we're going to work out a deal with Netflix where you give a percentage to us, we give our movies to you, work out a deal. So we're not fucking the consumer as much as other people are. And maybe build up some goodwill because of that, in some way, some shape, some form. As low as that may be. And I think Disney is so big right now, you need to humble yourself, and you need to cut costs, and you need to get smaller. Because when you're getting so much bigger, now you're so big, you're spending all this money everywhere, and there's no way you don't get so overwhelmed. You don't drown. When you get so big, it's like a balloon. You're going ready to pop. You need to simmer down. And maybe I'd have other people on there who are smart in business practices. It's like either A, keep Disney Plus, but we need to rework that because it's not doing as well as it should, or make a deal with Netflix, one or the other. Again, you either keep Marvel or Star Wars. I say you keep Marvel, you sell Star Wars to someone else, and with Marvel as well as animated films and some original IP films, you need to look at your history and go, well, why did Aladdin work? Why did The Lion King work? Animated film wise, why did some of these early Pixar films like Wall-E and stuff, why did those films work? Learn from them, learn from your history, because if you don't learn the mistakes, you're bound to repeat the mistakes, and learn from history. Marvel, again, take a 5-year break and look at what do you want to do. If you want to do more of these movies that are characters people don't know about, then you need to find a way to make them unique and interesting so they don't seem like a cookie cutter, by the numbers bullshit. Nowadays. You need to go back to actual directors who have a vision. You need to go back to actual storytellers that actually want to tell a story with characters. Not worry about what fucking check marks you want to do, what messages you want to invoke. And you also need to set up identities for each separate film. Not make every goddamn movie a comedy. Look at the character, what fits that character. So for Marvel, do not make every goddamn film a comedy. Cut down on the goddamn 80s songs. Hey, I like 80s songs. And there's some movies I still like them in it. Because, hey, I like those songs. But with Marvel, especially, at the very least with Marvel alone, you need to cut down on that shit. Respect the characters. Let the Hulk be the Hulk. Not taking fucking selfies and offering breakfast tacos. Let Doctor Strange be Doctor Strange. Not want to be Tony Stark, who becomes useless in his own fucking movie, Doctor Strange 2. Work on the effects and talk to your effects guys and gals and don't fuck them over. Because what you're getting now is dog shit CGI. Even though the budgets are bigger, the effects are worse. Maybe use older techniques as well. And make each film stand out. And that's why you calm down and go center on this and maybe 2 films. And make them the best we can. Do not fucking go and see, well, what do I have for 10 films? Yeah, go back to square one. I don't mean a reboot of Iron Man, Captain America. I mean this other shit. Don't worry about representation. Worry about story. So yeah, Marvel, you need a piece of humble pie. Don't make every goddamn movie Guardians of the Galaxy. Calm down the fucking humor. Respect the characters more. And again, get some writers who actually know a bit about the source material, that actually know a bit about comics. Or hell, hire some actual comic book writers of the old guard, not new nowadays, who know a bit about storytelling from back in the day. And work better on the effects and all this other shit. In Star Wars, I would say sell the shit. You don't need both Marvel and Star Wars. Sell Star Wars, concentrate on your own shit. Marvel, stop doing remakes of cartoons like The Lion King and The Jungle Book. Stop doing that shit. Try out for more original IP stuff. Again, storytelling, characters. Stop forcing woke messages down people's throats. And also, let's stop being hypocritical. Let's say you have a movie and it stars someone who happens to be black. And if China goes, you know what? Can you take that black guy off the poster? Or can you make him smaller? You go, no. Fuck you. Fine. We actually want to stick to our beliefs. What you're doing is bullshit. Fuck you. We're not releasing China. Make it so that China wants to. Make it so that the public of China demands it. Maybe they're not allowed and there's no way they can. But it's like, fine, we won't give you your movies. And if your public wants our movies, tough, because you're being assholes because of some of the shit you're doing, then fuck it. And that's the ideas of everybody in China. I'm talking about the government of China that do this shit, like the poster of Star Wars with John Boyega, but then China government wanted Boyega to be that much smaller. If Disney was part of their beliefs, be like, no, fuck you. We're not doing that. Stick to your beliefs. Practice what you preach, or don't fucking preach it at all. I would say stop preaching, but if you don't preach, preach the actual good ideals. Because then you make parents happier. You don't piss off parents. And then maybe they want to go more towards your amusement parks, which is a big part of your money. Like all the shit going on in Florida, and parents that get more pissed off. What was it, Bob Iger or someone getting the phone call and say, "What the fuck are you doing? What's all this shit here? What was it, the San Francisco folks you worked with who sang that song about we're gonna convert your children and there's nothing you can do," but it was just tongue in cheek. Don't get involved with stupid shit like that. Don't worry about what people fucking say on Twitter. Because as a guy once said, Twitter is not a real place. Had to be a bearer of bad news. Twitter's not a real place. You can't go into a building called... Is Twitter in your town? Can you go into it as a store? No? Can Twitter come into your home? Knock on your door? No? It's not a real place. It's not a person. Don't worry about what the fuck Twitter says. So sell Star Wars. Marvel take a break for 5 years. Start from the beginning, as in fire people that you got for your representation and messages and no. Storytelling, characters, respect the characters. Maybe get the old guard of comic book writers, the old guard that actually knew how to tell stories and take care of these characters well. And have each character be their own defining bit. Don't have every character try to be, again, fucking Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., or every movie be Guardians of the Galaxy. Don't have every movie look the same with piss poor CGI. Have the directors actually have a vision, if it's a worthwhile vision, of course. And don't fucking try to slate 18 fucking films. Take, again, eat a piece of humble pie. Stop the woke messages shit. Stop getting involved with that shit. Stop pissing off parents. Stop. You have to work on new IPs because the new IPs will hopefully, if you do it well, will give you new franchises, which will give you new currency of money because the old guard is not going to help you in the long run. You want to do Indiana Jones 5? Well, guess what? Harrison Ford is 80-some years old. Maybe there's not much more you get out of Indiana Jones. Star Wars, you want to do all the Star Wars with Rey, the new Jedi Order. There's not going to be as much positive buzz as there were when The Force Awakens was coming out back in the day. Because you've diluted and polluted that whole pool of Star Wars. It will still make money, yes, but not as much as you're hoping. Marvel, people take... people just, it doesn't matter, there's a Marvel film every 3 months, and so it's not special anymore. It's just typical, it comes off as generic, it comes off as by the numbers for a lot of people, and yep, it's that time of the year for another Marvel film. It's 3 months later, here's another Marvel film. So there's no special. That's one of the many reasons why you're seeing lesser box office. It doesn't matter. And, I mean... if this film bombs, it doesn't matter. They'll make another one. Or that character will appear in this. Or it'll appear on Disney Plus. Or it'll appear on this. It doesn't matter if I see it. Or if I do, I could just watch it on, when it comes out on streaming. Or watch it some other way. Sail the High Seas with Johnny Depp. That's the thing. There's no risk for the fans to go, if I miss it, don't matter. Again, when it's like you have cereal, maybe you like the cereal, but you don't want the cereal every day. And even then, it's like, okay, there's a word I'm thinking of. You don't appreciate it. You don't appreciate someone until it's gone. And if it's never gone, that just becomes almost like background noise. It just kind of fades into the background and just, yeah, whatever. Like Ant-Man 3, Ant-Man Quantumania. By now, people don't talk about that movie. As if it's as if it never existed. That's not a good thing. It's part of the problem. So how to fix Disney, you need a whole upheaval of stuff. You need to really change things around. And also, if you don't use your older properties, then actually use some of them. Like, instead of making Lion King remakes and Dumbo remakes, how about this? How about you make a Mickey Mouse movie, but with an actual Pixar level of aptitude? Do you imagine a movie like Finding Nemo, WALL-E, Toy Story 1, whatever the you want to say, but utilizing your Mickey Mouse or your Goofy or your Donald Duck characters? Where it's still for kids and it's still fun, but there's some nice emotion behind it and storytelling? Does you have all this gluttony of characters that you're not using at all? That made you Disney in the first place? Since if you want to be so stuck on using old IPs, you have a gluttony of ones that you never use. Reintroduce people. to those characters with good stories. Maybe tweak characterizations to make them fresh and invigorating in today's age. Can't do that though. Nostalgia. But you want to talk about nostalgia? There's nostalgia, but no, it's nostalgia is like maybe 70s to the 90s. That's the nostalgia they want. I mean, in all truthfulness, Lucas, I don't think there's a way to fix Disney nowadays. Until if eventually, well, it never will. It'll always find a way, but I think to truly fix Disney, it would have to go bankrupt, and it will never go bankrupt. Well, never say never, but the thing that goes bankrupt would be not wishful thinking for the workers who didn't do anything wrong. They're just being told what to do by higher ups that don't know what the fuck they're doing. But a rude awakening is what they really need to wake up. And with all the bits here and there, if they're not waking up by now, then nothing will. Unless something earth-shaking happens. So, I don't know. That's just some thoughts from me. So thanks once again, Lucas. Take care. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.